Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Zoe if you haven't seen me before, and today I'm going to be talking about the best games for a game night. This weekend my cousins and I had a game night, which we try to do every couple months or so. So we have played a ton of games and some of them are hits, some of them are not. So I wanted to talk about some of our recurring games that tend to be our favorites and we try to play at every single game night. We are going to be judging these games based on a couple of categories. So I like all of these games, but different games are better for different situations. So I have a list here. I'll be telling you if the games are better for big groups or small groups, if they're more strategy or more fun, if the games are long or short, and how close you need to be with the group for them to be fun to play. The first game is Blank Slate. This is kind of a random game. I think I got it for Christmas one year. How this game is played is there will be a card with a word and then blank, or blank and then a word, and then everybody fills out what first comes to their mind or a word that pairs with it. So for example, it could say blank house, and then everybody will write what word comes to mind when they think of blank house. So, you know, you could do dog house, you could do playhouse, anything like that. So if you match with one other person in the group, you get 3 points. And if you match with multiple people, you get 1 point. And if you don't match with anyone, you don't get any points. Blank Slate is better for bigger groups. It is more of a fun game over a strategy game. This game can be played really as long as you want. You keep track of points, but you can stop whenever, honestly. And you really don't need to be too close with the people you are playing with to have fun with this game. So this one would be a great one if you're in a bigger group, you don't really know many people, and you're just trying to have an easy game. I would describe this as a very easy game that you can have fun with. The next game that I'm going to talk about is Codenames. So this is a huge favorite in my family. We love this game. So how it works is the group is split into 2 teams. One head person on each team is chosen. And what will happen is there will be a grid of words, and you have specific words that you're trying to get your team to guess. And so the goal is to get all of them guessed before the other team gets theirs guessed. So you give 1-word clues to try and tie your different words together so your team can guess them. It is a ton of fun. As far as our rankings go, this game can be played with smaller groups or bigger groups, but I would say it's better with bigger groups. It is more of a strategy game. It takes a little bit longer, and you don't have to be close with your group when you're playing this, but it does sometimes make it fun and a little bit easier. This is amazing. If you've never played this game before, you definitely should go play it. The next game I'm going to talk about is Wavelength, and this game is super fun. So basically how it works is you'll pick a card that has 2 words on it that are a spectrum. So for example, it could be wet and dry. There's one person that will see how far on the spectrum to one side or the other that they're trying to get their team to guess. And they will then give a word to try and get their team to guess where the thing is. For example, if it was wet and dry, and it does look like the half circle. So if it was wet and dry, and let's say the person looked at it and it needs to be closer to dry, they could say hair dryer. Hey guys, I'm editing this and I needed to cut in because if the spectrum was wet and dry, you definitely couldn't say hair dryer because dry is in the word. A better descriptor or clue for this would be the desert. All right, back to the video. And then the team will guess where along the spectrum the thing is. People do this game on TikTok a lot. This game is better with smaller groups. It can get kind of unruly and a little out of hand with bigger groups. It is more of a fun game. It can be played as long as you want. You don't need to be too acquainted with the people, but it definitely makes it a little bit more fun. If you haven't played this game, definitely give it a try. It's one of my favorites. Okay, now we're going to get into a few games that I do not have, but I have played before. So our next game is a card game, and this is called Mafia. And this game is a lot like the show Traitors, and if you like that, you'll love playing this game. So how it works is you get an ace, a queen, a king, and then any other random cards that are numbers. And the ace is the killer, so they kill one person at night. The king is the detective, so they get a hint to who the killer is. And then the queen is the nurse, so they get to save one person each night. And so the game is played in rounds. Each round, the mafia kills someone. The townspeople, which are the people who drew random numbers, they're trying to guess who the killer is. If you haven't played this, look it up because there's a little bit more to it, but it is a super fun game and you only need a deck of cards. Group size, I would say it's better with a big group. It is more of a strategy game. It can be shorter, but it can also be longer, which I'm realizing now that I say that in a lot of games. And the reason for that is because I don't love games that take a long time to play, because you never know when people are going to clock out and say they're done. You should be closer with the people that you're playing this game. Otherwise, it will be hard. You might not be able to tell when people are lying, or because that's the whole game, is you're trying to lie. The next game is a game that you actually do not need anything for other than paper and pens, and that is called Fishbowl. So how this works is each person in the group will take 3 pieces of paper and they'll write a noun of sorts, or they can really write anything, but a noun is best. They'll write that on their paper, and then you put them all in a bowl in the middle. And so this game is broken up into 3 rounds, and you can do teams however you want, honestly. So round 1 is you're trying to get the person to guess the word without saying it. So it's similar to Taboo, but you don't have like a list of things you can't say. So then each one you get points, and you do that until the bowl is done or gone. And then you count up, each team counts up how many they got. So you count up your points, put them back in. Round 2 is a similar thing with the teams, but you get 1 word to describe it and they have to guess it. So the goal is that you kind of are more familiar with the words this time, so you have a better clue. So then you do that till you get through all the prompts, count up your points, put all them back in the middle. And then round 3 is charades. So you have to act out. So it's kind of fun because each round gets you get a little bit more familiar with the words, and it gets a little bit crazier. So this game is super fun. And if you want to look it up to get the exact rules, it's called Fishbowl. For this, a group size, you can do it with big groups or smaller groups. I've done it with groups of 4, and I've done it with, bigger groups. So honestly, either works with this one. This one is more of a fun game, not a ton of strategy. It is a little bit longer of a game. It would be better to be closer with the group that you're doing it with. Next on the list of games is Jackbox games. And these are actually games that are on like a Nintendo or a PlayStation or something like that. And these games are so fun. These are another staple for our game nights. Our favorite, honestly, is Quiplash. So how Quiplash works, this is a game where you play on the TV and on your phone. Each person gets sent 2 questions to their phone. And so they make up an answer that's kind of funny, or, they can do any answer they want, but my family always does like funny answers. And then you have like a minute to do that. And then up on the TV, it will go through each question, and each question has 2 different answers. And then you vote on like which one you like best. It can get kind of crazy, but it's easy and it's fun to do. It's better to do with a bigger group. And there is a maximum in the actual game. I think it's either 8 or 10, but you can also have people join and just vote, which is also super fun. It's a fun game, not very much a strategy game. It is a shorter game, but honestly, our family ends up playing multiple games whenever we take that out. And for this game, it is better to be close with the people you're playing with because you can do a lot more inside jokes and it makes it a lot more fun. So that is the end of my recommendations for the best games for a game night, but I wanted to give you guys a few bonus games that are more fun with either 1 or 2 people. So the first game I have is called Hive, and I'll be honest, I haven't played this a ton, but me and my fiance just played it the other day and we had a ton of fun. So it's a strategy game that's similar to chess, but it's with like little bugs. The bugs have different ways that they can move similar to chess pieces. It's super fun and it's portable. We actually brought this to a restaurant yesterday, which was fun. And it does take a little bit longer, but it's a super fun strategy game just to play with one other person. The next game I have is a single player game, which I don't even know if you can consider that a game. This is called Cueless, and this is awesome. I've had it for a couple years now. So how this game is played is you have an array of dice with different letters on them. And so you roll the dice and then you put them into a Scrabble assortment and you try to use all of the letters with, you know, obviously making real words. So this is a fun thing to do just once a day. And I think they have the statistics on the website for this, but almost every single combination that you roll will have a solution. So it's super fun, and if it gets too challenging, I just roll again. But then my last game is also a single player, more puzzle type game, and that's called Rubik's, and I actually just got this for my birthday. I was excited to have a new game that's similar to Cueless because, like I mentioned, I've had that for a couple years. So it comes in this thing, right? You have a card that has a little grid and it shows you where the 2 white pieces go. So then you'll take these out other than the white pieces that they show on the card. And then your goal is to figure out where the other blocks go. So it's kind of like a mind puzzle, but also a little game. And I think it's good to always get your mind moving. It's, you know, better than scrolling on TikTok or anything like that. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you all for watching. I love playing games, and every time I have a game night, I'm just reminded of how fun it truly is. So that's what inspired me to make this video today. I'm hoping to try more games in the future because, like I mentioned, we have our staple games that we usually stick to, and I think there's a ton of games out there that I want to try. Even when I was doing research for this video, I saw a lot of games where I was like, oh, that looks like fun. Game nights are an amazing way to create memories with your friends and families without having to go out and spend money. Thank you guys for watching the video today, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.